Welcome, everybody, to the Keeping Score podcast presented by Corwin Motors. I am your host, Josh Amick. This week, a Flathead runner sets an unprecedented mark at the Archie Roe event. Another softball crosstown matchup takes place, and Columbia Falls and Whitefish baseball teams continue to stack wins as they get ready for a matchup with each other later this week. So let's get into this week's highlights that you might have missed. We're going to switch things up this week and kick things off with the track meet at Archie Roe event, where my poster player of the week, Will Hollensteiner, won all 5 of his events. He started with the win in the field at the long jump, going past 21 feet before joining the Braves' 400-meter relay team for a meet record time of 41.19 seconds with teammates Colin Smith, Lane Shivers, and Ben Bliven, who also went unbeaten on the day with a 4-for-4 performance. The Braves broke the record that they set just 1 year ago. Then Hollensteiner set another meet best in the 400 with the Class AA best 48.10, more than a second over the old record set in 2004 by Whitefish's Cody Henning. 5 records fell in total, all on the boys' side. Will added another win in the afternoon in the triple jump and another win in the long relay. Bliven joined both relays and claimed wins in the 100 and 200 meters with no record set, though he already owns both from 2004. In the team totals, though, Glacier got the edge on Flathead with 126 points. Flathead finished second at 112.75, and Columbia Falls third at 78. Ethan Anderson stepped up for the Wolfpack with the meet record and personal best in the 300 hurdles at 38.64, and second place in the 110 hurdles. Cole Albright added a win in the pole vault for the pack, and Ben Winters won in the shot put. On the girls' side, Hellgate nabbed the win, followed by Glacier, Flathead, and Columbia Falls. Lauren Bisson won the 800 for the Wolfpack with the personal best time ahead of teammate Dacia Binkelman. Binkelman added a win with her personal best in the triple jump as well. The Wolfpack also got wins from Brianna Barnes in the pole vault at 10.6. She beat Columbia Falls' Sully Bolimer on criteria. Flathead's Olivia Reinhardt took the 100 hurdles to add another win to an already impressive season resume. Moving over to softball, the Wolfpack completed the regular season sweep with a 19-2 win over the Bravettes in yet another crosstown matchup on Thursday. Olivia Warriner continued her amazing season, hitting 2 homers and driving in 7 runs on the day. Warriner opened up the scoring in the top of the first with the 3-run blast that just carried over the fence in straightaway center field. Her second homer left no doubt, crushing the ball out to left center for a 2-run shot. Flathead found their offensive footing in the bottom of the third as Glacier put Chloe Farrell in the circle. Reese Conley reached on an error that helped Mackenzie Brandt home. Conley scored later in the inning on a passed ball. Farrell then went on to shut out the Bravettes over the final 2 innings, including a 3-strikeout 4th inning where she threw just 10 pitches. She finished with 5 strikeouts, and she added 2 hits at the plate, going 2 for 2. Glacier split their games with the Helena schools later in the week, picking up a 17-0 win over Capital and losing to Helena 4-0. Warriner homered again and drove in 5 runs, plus combined with Olivia Gibbons on a 2-hitter as Glacier thumped the Capital Bruins. Both Nakia Persinger and Kristen Terrell scored 3 times each. In their game against Helena, the offense was held to just 1 hit and a walk, both picked up by Taylor Vivian, and a great pitching outing from Faith Howard. Flathead was swept by both Helena schools, losing 10-0 to Helena and 11-10 to Capital. Mackenzie Brandt had a huge day at the plate for Flathead, hitting a grand slam in the 4th inning that put her team up 5-4, and then added a 2-run double in the 5th that made it 8-4. Olivia Nyman hit a leadoff homer to put the Bravettes up 9-6, but the Bruins surged back in front and pulled out a close win. In their game against Helena, Faith Howard dominated in the circle again, only allowing 1 hit, a single by Nyman, as they cruised to a win. Columbia Falls had another strong week. Annika Reed had 3 hits and drove in 4 runs. Katie Bulawsky struck out every batter she faced, and the Wildcats went on to run rule Browning twice, 17-0 and 15-0, to sweep a Northwest A doubleheader. In the opener, Reed twice hit RBI singles during the same 9-run 3rd inning for the Cats. Her second hit made the score 12-0. Bulawsky's perfect outing lasted just 3 innings because of the mercy rule. She struck out 9, throwing 47 pitches, and helped her own cause with 2 runs batted in and 2 runs scored. In the nightcap game, Taylor Lingle had 3 hits and drove in 3 runs, while Addie Bowler had 3 hits, scored twice, and drove in 2 runs for the Cats. Ella Brandstetter allowed 1 hit and 1 walk in 3 innings, and she fanned 6. Whitefish softball lost a tough game to Libby 15-0, and in that game the Bulldogs were held without a hit. Switching over to baseball, Logan Stewart and Bear Barker combined on a 6-hitter. Tate Army's RBI double sparked a 4-run 4th inning, and Whitefish downed Ronan 6-1 on Thursday. Stewart started and went 4 innings, allowing 3 hits, 2 walks, and a run. He struck out 7. Barker allowed 3 hits in 3 innings, and he fanned 4. Calvin Eisenbarth went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 3 RBIs to lead the Whitefish Bulldogs to a 17-2 win over the Plains Springs Savage Horsemen for another win last week. Whitefish wasted no time offensively. The first 8 Bulldogs reached base, highlighted by Finn Ryan's RBI triple that capped the 9-run first inning. The Bulldogs added 8 more runs in the second inning and closed out the Savage Horsemen in 3 innings due to the mercy rule. Columbia Falls picked up a pair of wins as well this week to keep pace with the Bulldogs ahead of their matchup. They beat Browning 18-0 and held on for a close 6-5 win over Eureka. Jory Hill scored 3 runs, Trayson Murphy had 2 hits, and the Wildcats needed just 2.5 innings to down Browning in an error-filled contest. No Wildcat had more than 1 hit or 1 RBI, but Columbia Falls took advantage of 12 errors committed by Browning. Columbia Falls scored 3 runs in the 3rd and 5th inning and staved off a Eureka Lions comeback to hold on to a 6-5 victory. Jory Hill had 1 hit and drove in 2 runs. Reggie Sapop picked up 3 hits and scored a run as the Wildcats won their 6th straight game. Sapop closed out the game pitching the final 1 2/3 innings with no hits or runs to pick up the save. Bigfork down Plains Hot Springs 17-1. Bigfork's Holland Jansen threw 5 sharp innings. Hayden Mayer had a pair of doubles, and the Vikings put away the Savage Horsemen with a 9-run 6th inning. Rylan Rodriguez had 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and 3 runs scored for the Vikings. Sam Plummer also drove in 2 runs, with Kevin Weist scoring 3 times. Moving over to Legion Baseball, the Kalispell AA Lakers walked the bases loaded and scored 2 runs on an error in the 11th inning to end a back-and-forth contest against the Helena Senators in Game 1 of a doubleheader, winning 10-8. The Lakers then picked up the sweep in Game 2, winning 8-3. Luke Nikunin collected 2 doubles and scored twice in Game 1 for the Lakers. Oscar Callis reached base 4 times with 2 doubles and 2 walks and drove in a pair. Nikunin took the bump in Game 2, allowed 3 hits and 2 earned runs, striking out 4 across 6 innings to pick up the win. Battery mate Andre Seifers provided the pop for the Lakers, connecting on a 2-run home run that capped off a 6-run 5th inning that put the Lakers ahead 6-3. Seifers finished the day with 2 hits and crossed the plate twice. Caden Collar picked up 3 hits and 2 RBIs. The last highlight we have to showcase this week is tennis. Leilani Lenars and Creed Norick earned the victories from the number 1 single spots as Glacier downed Missoula Big Sky and Butte in high school tennis on Friday. Lenars led a single sweep for the Wolfpack. The Glacier girls singles did not drop a set over their 2 duels. Carl Bittney and Sam Engelent also grabbed a pair of wins for the Wolfpack boys at the top doubles position. The Wolfpack downed Big Sky 6-2 and Butte 7-1. That is going to wrap up this week's episode of the Keeping Score podcast presented by Corwin Motors. I want to thank you all for tuning in, and as always, full game recaps can be found on the Daily Interlakes website, and full track meet results can be found on athletic.net. We'll see you all next week, and until then, take care. Thanks to Corwin Motors for sponsoring the Keeping Score podcast. At Corwin Motors, they're proud to be family-driven for over 100 years. Their commitment goes beyond selling cars. They're dedicated to serving our community and providing you with the highest quality vehicles to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're searching for reliability, style, or comfort, they got you covered. They understand that you rely on their website for accurate and up-to-date information, and it's their promise to deliver relevant, detailed content that meets your needs. So if you're in the market for a new Chevrolet or just want to learn more, visit CorwinMotorsKalispell.com.